Peace and love, Moonbeams. My name is Kalila Coulter, and I am very excited to be part of the 2021 Harlem Book Fest. Today, I want to introduce you to my book series, the Still Waters series. We have part 1, Still Waters, part 2, Kenny, and part 3, Jazz, will be out just in time for Christmas. Today, I want to talk about part 1, Still Waters, an HBCU tale. In this book, the main character, Natasha, has a best friend, Kenny, who is madly in love with her, but he will never tell her because she has a boyfriend who she's been with since high school, Colin. Colin is not the ideal boyfriend, and Kenny is always trying to show Natasha how much her worth is. And Kenny also has an aunt, Jasmine, who is, she spends a lot of time trying to show Natasha that there's more to life than just the relationship that she's with. So in this scene that we're about to read, that's exactly what they're doing. So, Aunt Jasmine grinned broadly at me. I hear you're a writer. I nodded and shot Kenny a look. He looked away like he didn't notice. A poet? Sometimes, I said lightly. Well, let me hear. Let you hear. I knew full well what she was talking about. I just didn't want to recite anything to her. Aunt Jasmine was the type that made you feel like your stuff had to be on point before you even tried to step to her with anything at all. I couldn't drop just any old nonsense on her like I had been doing with Kenny. Yes, and make it a good one. She was also the type that made you feel like there was no other option than the one that she presented to you. So at that point, I knew I didn't have a choice. Okay, well, I have been working on a new one. Well, she looked back towards the kitchen like I was about to lose her attention at 10, 9, 8. I closed my eyes, trying to recall the first line. Rise up, my beloved king, from the ashes of your fate. Rise up, let love be your inspiration, for a revolution can never come too late. Stay strong, my brother, with your sister by your side. Stay strong in the conviction that to you, I never lied. Be proud, beautiful, black man. Don't try to hide the scars on your face. Be proud and show them off as an accomplishment of our race. Be brave, young Simba, with your strong back and powerful paws. Be brave, march through their picket signs. You have no reason to bow down to their ignorant laws. Grow old, sweet angel. Don't fall into the hands of fools. Grow old and feel comfort in knowing that with faith, their blunts and lines do not make up your rules. Stay pure, precious prince, for it is your mind that is at stake. Corruption and pain lie in your future if you find yourself just a day too late. Teach us, great Milana. Fill us with your infinite wisdom, so true. Teach us what you know about the ways of the world, and we will never stray from you. When I finally looked back at them, I noticed that Jasmine wasn't even looking at me. She was looking at Kenny. He was staring at me like he didn't even realize that I could speak Japanese. Jasmine turned to me and gave me a proud smile. Right on, little sister, she said, giving me a quick glimpse of the revolutionary that Kenny said she once was. Right on. She grabbed my hand and squeezed it. Then she turned to Kenny. You heard that, right? He nodded, yes, and they shared a silent conversation. Okay, thanks, Moonbeams. Please make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Kalila Coulter. That's KALILAHCOULTER. And also check out my YouTube channel at Kalila Coulter Live! And email me at blackraincafe@gmail.com. That's BLACKRAINCAFE@gmail.com. blackraincafe@gmail.com to hear the latest on Kalila Coulter books and also to be the first to find out when Jazz is about to drop. All right, thanks, Moonbeam. See you soon.
Hello, my name is Kipto Yours, and I am the author of The Evil Universe. Seeing as this is my first Harlem Book Fair introduction, I would like to welcome you to The Evil Universe, to our current titles, series, and future projects filled with original characters and storylines brimming with fun and adventure that will take you on an emotional roller coaster ride that you've never been on before. Let's get started. We begin with the first book I ever wrote, which started it all, titled The First. Originally published on December 26, 2013, The First tells the story of Sophia Dennison, a woman executed for the murder of her husband, who is miraculously resurrected with amazing superhuman abilities. In the process of solving her husband's murder, hunting down the real culprits, and saving the world, an event happens in which Sophia accidentally infects a percentage of the world's population, turning them into superhumans. Because of her, superhumans now walk the earth, giving birth to what we know as the Evil Universe. The first series, which includes 2 additional titles, Evil Uprising and Genesis, tells the ongoing story of Sophia, her superhuman origin, and how she navigates a world that she changed. Also a part of the Evil Universe is a spin-off novel titled The Eye of Ra. Published on July 1st, 2016, The Eye of Ra is a prequel story about Lawrence Danjuma, a down-and-out young man who steals a family heirloom from his father to fuel his addiction. However, the heirloom comes to life and tells Lawrence about his true Anunnaki heritage, a race of beings that once came to Earth, becoming the inspiration behind many of Earth's Egyptian and Mayan mythologies. In learning about his heritage, Lawrence uncovers a dark secret that could spell the death and destruction of all humankind and must decide if he can become the hero the world needs in order to save it. Can he become the next Eye of Ra? All 4 of these titles mentioned has led up to the major 4-book story arc event within the Evil Universe titled War of Mortal Gods. Published on October 6, 2020, Horus, the first superhuman created by the Anunnaki, has broken free of his long-time imprisonment and has resumed his mission of universal domination with a sprinkle of vengeance. His actions will cause a permanent, devastating ripple in the Evil Universe forever, whether freedom, the Eye of Ra, and the regulators are successful in stopping him or not. Book 2 of War of Mortal Gods is currently in production and is projected to be published later this year or early next year, 2020. I have also introduced 1 new title and 2 new short story miniseries to our library of work. Winner of the 2019 Red City Review category for romance, Fred and Mary is a powerful supernatural romantic comedy of Fred, who purchased a life-size doll to cope with the tragic death of his wife Mary. However, weird events take place within his home, and especially with the doll, to make him believe that Mary is communicating with him from the grave. Has she come back to him? One of our first short story miniseries titled Help, I'm a Superhero is my first YA anime-style novel about Superior, an MMO player of a superhero video game from 2050 who is transformed into a real-life version of their game character and transported to a world where superpowered beings exist, but the concept of what is to be a superhero does not. What is a fake hero to do while they're trying to find their way back home? Pick up Help, I'm a Superhero and find out. A 12-part book series, Book 2 of Help, I'm a Superhero is currently under production and is projected to be published later this year or early next year, 2022. Our second book in our short story miniseries is titled The Elf and a LARP. In the land of Farron, Phelan, a half-elf, half-orc woman, lives with her mother and works the life of a farmer, enduring bigotry and cruelty, until one fateful day she is accidentally saved by a human ranger named Brian in the woods near her home. The problem is Brian is not a real ranger. He is a live-action role player that was somehow transported to her world? Can the two solve the mystery of how Brian ended up in Ferren while avoiding the land's perils, and most importantly, killing each other? Find out what happens when fantasy meets roleplay. A 4 to 5 book series, Book 2 of The Elf and the Lark is currently under production and is projected to be published later this year or early next year, 2022. These are the many stories that I hope to present through the Evo universe. I would like to thank you, the reader, for listening to my presentation. I hope you consider many of my titles and series, and I would like to personally welcome you to the Evo universe.